Imagine a secret so powerful it could add years to your life, not through pills, diets, or expensive treatments, but through something as simple as sharing a home with someone decades younger. Today, we're unraveling the profound science and heartwarming realities of intergenerational living. Why do seniors who live with millennials, those tech-savvy, avocado toast-loving young adults, often report longer, happier lives? The answer lies in a tapestry of biological, psychological, and social threads, each weaving together to create a lifeline against the silent epidemics of modern aging. Loneliness, cognitive decline, and physical stagnation. Let's begin with loneliness, a quiet killer that the U.S. Surgeon General has equated to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. For seniors, isolation isn't just an emotional burden. It reshapes brain chemistry, weakens immunity, and accelerates mortality. But here's the twist. A landmark study from the University of California revealed that seniors in multi-generational homes are 45% less likely to report chronic loneliness. The reason? Millennials bring something no pill can replicate: spontaneous, unstructured connection. Picture this: a 75-year-old grandmother debating the merits of Marvel versus DC movies with her 22-year-old roommate over breakfast. Or a retired teacher learning TikTok dances in the living room, laughing as she stumbles through the latest viral trend. These micro moments of joy, trivial as they may seem, activate the brain's reward centers, releasing dopamine and oxytocin. They're not just conversations, they're neural lifelines. Take Margaret, a 78-year-old widow from Florida. After her husband's passing, she spent 2 years in a quiet apartment, her days marked by the ticking of clocks and the hum of daytime TV. Then came her granddaughter, Emily, a 28-year-old nurse with a penchant for impromptu karaoke nights and kale smoothies. "I worried we'd clash," Margaret admits. "She's always blasting music, and I still don't understand why anyone needs 6 different streaming services. But now," she pauses, grinning, "we have Taco Tuesdays, where she teaches me slang like cap and no shot. Last week, she filmed me trying kombucha for the first time. My face went viral in her friend group. I haven't felt this necessary in years." Margaret's story isn't unique. Neuroscience reveals that our brains crave novelty, a trait millennials deliver in spades. A 2023 study in the Journal of Intergenerational Relationships found that seniors in age-blended homes scored 30% higher on memory tests than their isolated peers. Why? Constant exposure to new ideas, technologies, and cultural shifts. Millennials raised in the digital age process information differently. They multitask, adapt rapidly, and communicate in a lexicon peppered with terms like ghosting and FOMO. For seniors, keeping up isn't just entertaining, it's a cognitive workout. Imagine learning to navigate a voice-activated smart speaker, decoding Gen Z's obsession with cottagecore, or debating the ethics of AI over dinner. Each interaction fires synapses, forging new neural pathways. Dr. Elena Martinez, a gerontologist at Stanford, explains, "Intergenerational dialogue is like cross-training for the mind. When a 70-year-old debates cryptocurrency with a 25-year-old, they're not just exchanging opinions, they're challenging ingrained thought patterns. The brain, forced to reconcile conflicting perspectives, literally rewires itself." This phenomenon isn't confined to labs. Meet Harold, an 82-year-old retired history teacher in Chicago. After his wife's passing, he nearly withdrew from the world until he rented his spare room to Jamal, a 29-year-old grad student studying urban sociology. Together, they launched a podcast dissecting forgotten chapters of history from Harold's garage turned studio. "Jamal pushes me," Harold says. "Last month, he had me researching the role of jazz in the civil rights movement, a topic I'd never explored. Now I'm interviewing musicians half my age. My curiosity's back, and honestly, I sleep like a kid after a day of learning." But the benefits aren't purely mental. Let's talk movement. Sedentary lifestyles shorten lifespans, yet seniors in intergenerational homes take 1,200 more daily steps on average than those living alone. Researchers call this the activity ripple effect. Millennials often unconsciously create reasons to move: a dash to the farmer's market for fresh herbs, a living room dance-off to Taylor Swift's latest album, or even helping haul groceries upstairs. These aren't workouts. They're organic, joyful bursts of motion that bypass the dread of treadmills. The ripple flows both ways. A Yale study found that millennials in these households exercise 20% more frequently, inspired by seniors' consistency. Take Maria, a 76-year-old in Albuquerque with arthritis so severe she'd resigned herself to armchair days. Then came Liam, her 30-year-old roommate, a hiking enthusiast who starts mornings with sun salutations. At first, Maria dismissed his invitations, but over weeks, his quiet persistence wore her down. One day he said, "Let's just sit on the porch and stretch," she recalls. "Now we do gentle yoga every morning. My joints still ache, but I've halved my pain meds." Liam says I'm his accountability buddy. Turns out he needs me to show up too. Then there's stress, the invisible accelerant of aging. Chronic stress floods the body with cortisol, a hormone that erodes immunity, sharpens inflammation, and frays chromosomes' protective telomeres. But here's the miracle. A groundbreaking Japanese study found seniors in multi-generational homes have 18% lower cortisol levels than those living alone. Why? Millennials provide a buffer against the micro-stresses of aging. Forgotten passwords, stubborn jar lids, confusing pharmacy instructions. The small frustrations that chip away at resilience. With a tech-savvy roommate nearby, solutions are a knock on a doorway. But it's not just practical aid. Laughter, the ultimate cortisol antidote, flourishes in these homes. Consider Carol, a 71-year-old in Seattle who rents her basement to Diego, a 27-year-old film buff. Their weekly terrible movie night, featuring cringe-worthy 80s action flicks, has become legendary. We howl at the cheesy dialogue, Carol chuckles. "Last week I laughed so hard I cried. My doctor says my blood pressure's dropped to my 40s levels." Now you might wonder, what if I don't have family nearby? The answer lies in redefining family. Programs like Nesterly and Silvernest now bridge generations, matching seniors with millennials seeking affordable housing in exchange for companionship or light chores. Others simply post a spare room online, specifying a preference for younger tenants. The key? Mutual respect. Boundaries matter. Quiet hours, chore rotations, guest policies, but so does openness. Take Ruth, a 94-year-old in Vermont who shares her farmhouse with 2 art students. "I thought I was offering cheap rent," she says, "but Mia and Theo turned my attic into a painting studio. They drag me to gallery openings, and I teach them how to bake pies from scratch. Last month, Mia painted my portrait, wrinkles and all. I haven't felt this alive, since my husband was around." Critics argue these arrangements are transactional, but the data tells a richer story. Seniors gain purpose, a reason to rise each morning, while millennials gain wisdom, stability, and often surrogate grandparents. In Spain, where multi-generational homes are cultural norms, seniors report some of Europe's lowest depression rates. In Singapore, the government subsidizes renovations for homes, adding granny flats, recognizing the societal payoff. The secret isn't just longevity, it's vitality. Living longer means little without laughter, curiosity, and moments that make your heart race. Whether you're 17 or 70, as Harold puts it, Jamal and I were strangers. Now we're co-conspirators. He's got me using words like lit and based, and I've got him reading Churchill's memoirs. We're time travelers, swapping eras. So if you're yearning for more years, and more life in those years, ask yourself, could a millennial roommate be your unexpected fountain of youth? Not a cure-all, but a catalyst for connection, growth, and just enough chaos to keep your spirit forever young. Let's pause for a moment and consider this. Humans are one of the few species on Earth that thrive in multi-generational groups. Unlike solitary animals, our biology is wired for communal living. Anthropologists trace this back to our hunter-gatherer ancestors, where grandparents, parents, and children shared knowledge, resources, and protection. Modern intergenerational living isn't a trend, it's a return to our roots. Back to Margaret, whose story of Taco Tuesdays and viral kombucha reactions captures the emotional upside. But there's a physiological layer too. When Margaret laughs at Emily's memes or groans at her dad jokes, her body releases nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation. A 2021 Johns Hopkins study found that seniors who laughed daily had 35% better vascular function, akin to the benefits of a 30-minute walk. I used to think her TikTok dances were silly, Margaret confesses, but now I realize they're my cardio. The cognitive benefits extend beyond memory tests. Consider neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. Dr. Martinez explains, when Harold debates Jamal about AI ethics, his brain isn't just recalling facts, it's creating new synaptic connections. Think of it as mental cross-stitching. This isn't hypothetical. MRI scans of seniors in intergenerational homes show increased gray matter density in the hippocampus, the region tied to learning and emotion. For Harold, this translates to sharper recall. Last week, I remembered my college professor's name, Dr. Whitaker, for the first time in years. Physical activity in these homes isn't limited to steps. Take balance, a critical factor in preventing falls, the leading cause of injury in seniors. When Maria practices yoga with Liam, she's not just stretching, she's engaging her vestibular system. Liam calls it ninja training, she jokes, but I haven't needed my walker in months. A Canadian study found seniors in active households reduce fall risk by 40%, partly due to these unplanned movement snacks, reaching for a top shelf, squatting to pet a dog, or swaying to music while cooking. The cortisol-lowering effect of millennials goes beyond stress relief. Chronic stress shrinks the prefrontal cortex, impairing decision-making. But in age-blended homes, the steady drip of micro-interactions, a hug after a tough day, a shared eye roll over a plumbing mishap, releases oxytocin, which counteracts cortisol's damage. Diego calls me his stress sponge, Carol says, but really he's my antidote. When my son lost his job, Diego stayed up with me, eating ice cream and plotting his LinkedIn comeback. I slept better that night than I had in weeks. Globally, the intergenerational movement is gaining momentum. In Denmark, co-housing communities called Bofællesskaber pair seniors with young families, sharing gardens, kitchens, and childcare. In Nigeria, where elders are revered, startups like Gray and Green connect tech-savvy youth with grandparents eager to digitize family histories. My grandson helped me record proverbs our ancestors whispered, says 89-year-old Naka from Lagos. Now they're on Spotify. Even in Japan, where solo living among seniors is rising, apps like Tomo match elders with rental grandchildren for weekly visits, a band-aid on a cultural wound. Financial pressures also play a role. With rent soaring, millennials save an average of $800 per month in shared homes, while seniors offset fixed incomes. But the hidden ROI healthcare savings. A Harvard analysis found seniors in intergenerational homes spend 22% less on medications annually. I used to pop pills for loneliness, admits Frank, 81, who lives with a graphic designer in Portland. Now my prescription is helping Zoe design logos. My arthritis meds, down to half. Conflict resolution is key. Successful homes thrive on generational empathy. Take Ruth and her art students. We had a tiff when Mia painted murals on the hallway walls, Ruth recalls. But we compromised. She'd sketch first, and I'd choose the colors. Now it's our favorite wall. Experts recommend monthly check-in coffees to air grievances. Jamal and I argue about thermostat settings, not politics, Harold laughs. We settled on sweaters and a space heater. History offers lessons too. In 19th century New England, boarding with strangers was common. A third of urban households included non-relatives. Today's version swaps barn chores for Wi-Fi troubleshooting, but the principle remains. Interdependence breeds resilience. My great-grandparents hosted immigrants during the Depression, says Diego. Now I'm Carol's boarder, eating her lasagna while I fix her iPad. Some bonds never age. Technology amplifies these connections. Beyond Nesterly, apps like Papa, Grandkids on Demand, and Stitch, companionship for seniors, are booming. But as 72-year-old Barbara in Austin notes, no app can replicate the magic of live human quirkiness. My roommate Kyle taught me to roast his sneaker collection. It's our thing. I've roasted those neon shoes so much, he finally donated them. Looking ahead, the implications are profound. If every senior in the U.S. shared their home, We'd free up 20 million bedrooms, easing housing crises. Imagine millennials tutoring seniors in VR, while grandparents teach them to preserve heirloom recipes. We're not just roommates, says Mia, Ruth's 24-year-old housemate. We're time capsules. She's shown me letters from the Dust Bowl. I'm teaching her to use ChatGPT for her memoir. It's like living inside history and the future.